What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Crowntakers. A quick word before we start this playthrough. I had recorded about 6 episodes of Crowntakers, and when I went through the editing and the rendering process, I realized that it was basically just hours and hours and hours of me being grumpy about the fact that the game was dominating me over and over and over again. And so effectively, I got rid of those because I didn't feel like they fit the proper tone of the Nerd Castle, where I try to play games and I try to be positive about the games, but I was really just being a sour, grumpy loser the entire time. So I got rid of those episodes. So what you're going to see today is there's going to be a new character that we've unlocked. I'll show her to you here on the mercenaries list. Her name is Zoe. She throws a boomerang that hits all adjacent enemies, and she's got a hawk where it flies around. You can control it for AP instead of her. And anywhere that the hawk is, it has a 2-ring radius around it, where anything in that radius gets a plus 20% chance to get critted. And so essentially it just makes you really, really good at hitting really, really hard. She's a cool character to have. I've also unlocked some of the secondary characteristics of some of the other characters. Basically, I got rid of the episodes because A, they were grindy, B, we didn't really accomplish anything, and C, I was really grumpy during the process of playing them all. And so that perfect little triumvirate of just like meh right there, I decided it was better to come back fresh the next day with all the stuff unlocked and just give you a short explanation, rather than go through and, you know, I suppose bum people out by not being a proper steward of the content that I'm playing. So anyways, new game time, let's go. We've got our hero at level 7, we're playing on easy. I did beat the Blink Strike boss. I beat the boss after her. No, I haven't, never mind. So I've beat the Blink Strike boss in my own playtime while I was kind of leveling up. We need to choose which playthrough we want. Which character we want. So there's 2 separate ability sets now for the hero that I've unlocked. One of them gives you Eviscerate and a higher critical chance. And this is really, really good for sundering off armor. I can't stress that enough to you. It's very, very good for sundering off armor. It's also really good if you can give him a healing rune. A rune exists in this game that allows you to heal for 2 points every single time you hit an enemy. This right here gives you a triple strike, and so you can heal for 6 in 1 turn, which we only have 7 HP right now, so that's pretty much your entire health bar every single time you go through every other turn, I guess, because this is on a 1-turn cooldown, so you can use it every other turn. The other ability that we have a choice with is one that I haven't used very much, but I think it would work to our benefit. It's called Disguise, and I have not used it, and I want to play around with it in this playthrough, so let's go ahead and go for it. I think that that's going to be my message of the day. My takeaway of the day is that I'm going to try and use Disguise a little bit more. Let's have a look, and I'll go with Dodge, I guess. I'm going to go with Strength. I'm going to go with Strength, Health, and Strength. So we're at 7 Strength right now, which means we're hitting really, really hard. I think the game does take a little while to level up in, and so I think a lot of the episodes that I was showing, the ones that I deleted anyways, were just kind of filler anyways. We were just doing this over and over and over again while I leveled. Obviously, we unlocked Zoe, we killed off the Blink Strike lady, we got a poisonous mushroom out of that cottage. Might be helpful later on. Let's fight some wolves real fast. Let's see how we do here. I think that we'll be able to do alright. And so I'm going to move up to right here. And we'll give him a stabbity stab, and that's going to leave us with a 5 damage strike, and it's a quick little victory. Not much XP for it because it is a level 1 mob. We'll take that rune right there so that we can apply it to our sword later on. And we've got a broken mill. You've spent a few hours making repairs. It should be finished soon, but you can't afford to spend any time here. I think that we just didn't have enough people. I did one in one of my personal playthroughs where I fixed one of these things and they gave me like 6 gold for it, and I was like, wow, that was really, really awesome. So that's why I took the time to do that, is sometimes you get a lot of good stuff for it. Search this place. We got a book and a healing mushroom. That'll be nice, and so we'll put that to use later on. Down here we've got a watchtower. I do feel a little bit nervous. Okay, so there's a locked chest right there. I'd like to come back with a lockpick, but I can't guarantee that it will or won't happen. We'll search the cave. We got ourselves some tools and a poisonous mushroom. We got lots of vendor fodder so far, so that should be pretty good. We're going to be starting out with like 10, 11, 12 gold. Not too terrible of a way to start. I kind of judge these runs. It's sort of like FTL in that I judge these runs by how good the drops are in the beginning. Sometimes I just flat out restart if by like the 2nd zone I haven't gotten certain things. It's a gameplay choice that I make. Now, I've been really, really selective about who I bring along when I play the game, and I think I need to start leveling up some of the other characters. So I think I'm going to bring Halfaris along for a little while. There's an insult match over here. I don't know who wins the insult match. I have figured out a lot of the people who win these little contests. Darian wins at arm wrestling, Zoe wins at singing, Theogal wins at drinking, And then the insult match, I would assume, is probably... I'm not sure who wins that one, so I think I'm going to give him some extra health, but he's only leveled up to 2. I came to this realization the other day while I was playing that I haven't leveled up Halfaris at all, and so I kind of need to do that. You don't want to have an imbalanced group once you get towards your final runs, and so in the endeavor of getting the final runs, I think we're going to try and level him up a little bit on this playthrough. Maybe let him have some killing blows, do some of that fun stuff. We'll sell off all those Amanita Phalades, or Phalloides, or however the hell you say that. I guess Phalades sounds kind of risque, but I suppose we'll call it what it is. Let's go down to the south. Oh no, that's our house. I thought there was... Damn it, I just wasted time. Okay, let's go back. I don't know if I'm going to play any of the bosses right now. I suppose you can leave me a message down below if you want to see how the Blink Strike Lady is defeated. I beat her basically using just a ton of consumables. If you really want to know how I did it, I used a lot of stealth potions to make it so that she couldn't attack people on any given turn. So basically what I did is I used Darian's shield ability to shield everybody on the first turn, and then I had him use an invisibility potion. And so she basically just wandered around the map confused, and then... that allowed us on the first turn to DPS her super hard. Second turn we DPS her super hard again, and that was that. We pretty much owned her. Alright, so we've got wolves guarding the gate right here. Unfortunately, my archer is stuck in combat, so let me go ahead and I'm going to try and dig him out real fast so that we don't have to deal with any further issues there. And what I prefer to do with Halfaris is let's put down his... No, I don't think that'll actually work. He needs 2 more range for this to work. So let's move him to there. And what I want him to do is take a shot. I mean, I don't think he's going to kill it. Obviously, he can't because he can only do, 2 to 3 damage. But I wanted him to take a swing at it, unfortunately. Or fortunately, so that at least I could get a feel for the way that he plays. I've very, very, very much been favoring the other archer, the crossbowman, because his ability is just so much better than Halfaris. What I wish that Halfaris had is I wish that Halfaris was more slippery. Because I think that's what sort of distinguishes him from the other archer. The other archer isn't really like a mobile guy. He's supposed to just sit there. He's supposed to have line of sight, and he's supposed... Did they have a burglar... They have a lockpick down here? I forgot to check. They did. So now it comes down to whether or not we want to race all the way across the map to open that chest. I think we'll do it. We're only on like day 3. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I haven't actually seen the game get that much more difficult based on the day that it is. We got a 4-leaf clover, increases the critical hit chance of the mercenaries by 7%. Okay, so that means that it saves me 1 level up of critical hit, so essentially their crit is 1 level higher than it would be by default, so that's fine. I mean, it's something that you can use on everybody. I think there's one of those of just about every stat, actually. I found one that gave you +1 health to everybody in the group. I found one that gave +1 strength to everyone in the group. That's my trinket right there. That's the one that I like. The workers are busy and no one is paying attention to you. It's actually like you're disrupting work more than anything else. We'll search the location and we find another lockpick location. Unfortunately, this happens sometimes. I had one playthrough where every single building had a locked chest in it and there was no burglar kits anywhere, so you couldn't really pick any of it. It was a little disappointing. It was saddening. It was saddening. It didn't upset me, but it may have if I was in a more, I guess, competitive mood. Start DPSing this guy right here and see what we can accomplish. Good, that took him down to a little bit lower of a health quotient. On this side, it appears as though we're going to be facing off against someone else. And so what I would prefer to do is swing down... I should have stayed back. Never mind, I messed up. I should have stayed back. Well, either way, I was going to have to close the gap with this thing, I guess. And so we took 1 damage right there. With Halfaris, I'd prefer to put him right here, maybe. And maybe he can one-shot that. I don't know. I don't know if he'll be able to. Yeah, unfortunately he didn't. So what I need right now is we'll kill that off. And then on this side, we will DPS that like there's no tomorrow. Because in fact there may not be if we die before then. And so now we've got 2 wolves coming back. We took another 1 damage, which is a little disappointing. I don't want to take damage this early in the game. At least I would prefer to hold off on it. Let's go ahead and we'll crit him, and then we'll have him finish this guy off as well. Because what we need is we need him to get 30 kills so that we unlock his tier 2 ability. In a lot of cases, the tier 2 ability is a bit more robust than the tier 1 ability. In fact, useless characters that I didn't really like become quite a bit more useful once you level them up slightly and get their new abilities. We can search this place. We found we gotta stop getting that event. That event is hurting us right now. It's hurting us really, really badly. Okay, so there we go. That's the kind of event that you want to get over and over again. So I've had a couple runs that were very, very successful where I ended up with like 5 or 6 stacks of tools, 2 or 3 books and things like that, and I had more money than I could even spend. We'll use the tunnel to get back over here to save a little bit of time. There was no way I could know where that was going to go, but I figured since we hadn't cleared off anything else, it had to go somewhere good, so... Let's go to the Old Oak Inn. We're going to hire ourselves a new mercenary here. And I think it's probably in our best interest to bring somebody that's a bit of a ringer. I mean, Theogal would be nice to have. I haven't leveled him at all, but I have heard that his tier 2 ability is a lot better than his tier 1 ability. He's got the armor ignoring ability. I don't think that's actually going to be that good of an ability. It's okay, but it's still not... I actually would prefer this one. If you're playing with Zoe, I prefer this one right here. You can basically almost guarantee yourself a big bad crit. You also max out your party at 5 members, or is it 4 members or 5 members? I'll have to measure the space in just a second. But anyways, let's see. Yeah, it's 5 members. Just so you know. Oh yeah, Hal Ferris is good at darts. That's what Hal Ferris is good at. Juggling. I don't know who's good at juggling. I assume it's probably like the minstrel, the guy that. Melik would be my guess, maybe. He's good at insulting people. If I had to take a rough stab at it, knowing what I know now by process of elimination, the 2 that we just got are alternate. They've got to be one of these 2. So let's take Theogal for right now. We'll take Theogal, and we'll start getting him leveled up a little bit. If we've got burglary tools in here, we don't, but we have a pendulum. I actually don't know what that does. I've had it drop before. I think it might increase your chance of getting like better loot or something along those lines. I couldn't honestly tell you though. This game does have some very, very cryptic items. In a lot of ways, it's kind of like Binding of Isaac, where occasionally you pick up things and you just have no clue what they do, and it's just you got to go and like Google it or something and figure it out. When I play Binding of Isaac, I Google so much. I sit there and I'm out tabbing out of the game like every 4 seconds trying to figure things out. That's why I've never done a series on it, is because my memory is so bad that I feel like it wouldn't be very entertaining. But then again, it's been a lot of fun to stream, so maybe I will. I'll give him some health. That's okay. 8 health and 5 strength. That'll work out for right now. He's not the best character I've ever seen, but he's certainly not the worst either. I would say that you should always fight the Wolf Lord because he drops cash. That makes him a little bit more useful than the other bosses. If you're trying to farm XP, so if you're trying to level, like if that's your physical goal is to level up, my suggestion to you, yeah, go ahead and put yourself on a tower right there. And then what I'll do is I'll block both passes right here, just in case. And so I'll have him guard. And he'll face this way. And on this side, I still don't know if he's going to be able to make that shot. 1, 2, 3. I think he will be able to make the shot, so long as the fight comes into an area that we can depend on. Let's go ahead and bypass it. I mean, I could move him around, but I'd rather wait and see where the wolf relocates itself to. Yeah, unfortunately, he did what I figured he was going to do. The game plays incredibly well, and I think that's one of the most frustrating things about it, is the game exploits little holes in the gameplay mechanics. I actually think they need to remove the blind spots behind characters, because there's too much mobility right now. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do right now. My archer is unfortunately isolated. He can, however, take shots at that little wolf right there, so that actually surprises me. We'll go ahead and do that right. I feel like there's too much mobility in the game right now. Just in my experience from playing, I feel like there is a lot of mobility in this game, and you're able to just move around all willy-nilly as you see fit without ever having to worry about consequences. Like, I can zip around behind him, he can zip around behind me over and over again, and that's why traditional turn-based strategy games don't have blind spots for attacks of opportunity like this, because they want to lock you down in like one spot, basically. Hopefully he can't really do much right now. I guess I'll leave him where he's standing, and we just kind of have to hope that he doesn't kill this character on this turn. The attack of opportunity's got to be good. There we go. So the attack of opportunity brought it home. Oh, no, 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 no. God, I didn't know that there was another one over there. That's really, really terrible. Alright, Hal Ferris. Go ahead, do your thing, man. We're trying to level you up on this run. But yeah, I think that that's one of the main things, is there's a lot of mobility in this game that ends up giving enemies and players very, very weird, the very strange sort of ability to be able to just kind of go around the map as they see fit. I'll put him on Overwatch for his next turn. Like the Wolf Lord did right there. You can't really lock him down, because had I faced any other direction, he would have jumped around behind me and hit me. And so you end up in kind of weird situations in this game sometimes, where unfortunately your maneuverability is much more limited than you'd like it to be. I've got to wait and see what the next enemy does. Okay, so the next enemy is going to line up right there, take an Overwatch shot, and then die spectacularly. I think there's a spawner over here, is what our problem is. And so we're going to have to sort that out. He's only got 1 health left, so I have to leave him like way in the back of the battlefield, otherwise this is just not going to work. We'll dismantle the watchtower and we'll get him moving. Isn't the watchtower the name of that thing that Jehovah's Witnesses give out when they come to your door? Like, they come door knocking. I know they give you something. I think it's called the watchtower. Pretty sure it is. How Ferris, I would like you to move a little bit further down here. Let's get working on this guy. 4 crit right there. We got a big miss, unfortunately, so that's going to leave him isolated to the back of the map for a little bit. I guess I'll set him up like so. And we just have to hope. He'll probably spawn his little dude right here, would be my guess. In fact, he may spawn it right here and then make her... No, he didn't actually. I wonder how if it's random, where it determines it wants to spawn its little wolf kit or its little fox thingy. Either way, this is great for farming up XP on this character, so we might as well just keep him upwardly mobile. If I could score him the 30 kills that he needs during this playthrough, it would be really, really nice. Alright, so there's the end of the combat. Hopefully that'll bring down some very, very nice XP. Okay, so Hal Ferris is at level 30, or I'm sorry, level 3 and some change. If he hit level 30, I'd be like, oh my god, Hal Ferris, you're a killing machine. We'll take the gold right there. This is the only boss that I fight, because all the other bosses, they drain your health by too much, and also they only give you kind of like, runes. I suppose you could get lucky and get like one of the rare runes. That's always a chance in the drop tables, but, you know, I'd rather play it safe. I'm going to go ahead and have him. Oh, good. He procced a really, really good heal there. Alright, I don't think this run is going to be very successful, actually, because I've made the conscious decision to bring some lower level people with me. If I had brought Darian and a couple others, we'd be doing a lot better right now. But I'm going to treat this like a level up run. Oh, cool. We found a gigantic statue lit by the torch of a previous explorer with 7 gold in it. Alright. We got all kinds of gold going on now. This is good for us because we have no healing items. And so, if they've got healing items at any of these places, so for example those apples, we can take those. We can take a campfire right now, which is a cheaper way for us to rest. And I think that's going to be about it for now. I haven't upgraded anybody yet, so I'll do that. Let me go ahead and jump into the blacksmith right here. And the person, we have a 10% critical. Who's got good crit right now? Because I only want to upgrade somebody that it stacks with their best stat. Unfortunately, we don't have a very good party going for crits. So I may just sit on this for a little while until we get a better rune to drop. Reduces incoming damage by 1 is pretty good. What does he have on sale here? Whole bunch of weapon runes. Technically we've got the cash and I could buy more of those, but I'm going to stay away from it for right now. Our mercenary list. Let's bring Melik. Even though he's not leveled up right now, I figure you might as well. The insult match. Let's give it a try since we've got money. Hal Ferris manages to win the match, and the other competitors now seem to have more inspiration than ever. I don't think Hal Ferris is meant to win that, though. You still have like a flat chance to win, even with the quote-unquote wrong character. Oh, I guess I'll go for crit on you. That was not the first level up that I was looking for, though, based on the fact that his strength is really, really low. We've got Thieves. Now, Thieves are one of the fights that I really don't like doing because you're going to take damage no matter what you do when you fight Thieves. It's just part of the way that they're designed. We don't have a huge hit chance over here. It's sort of an iffy chance, but we'll take it. Over here, I kind of want to wheel around and figure out where I think they must be invisible then. So everybody put your back to a wall, and we'll just wait it out. Put you in guard mode. Back to a wall. Hal Ferris. He doesn't have guard mode. So I guess I'll corner up and we'll go back to the wall with him and we'll just figure it out once we're out there. And then we'll go... Well, I'm going to try and evenly distribute everybody. No, 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 no. Oh, that was a mistake. I, for whatever reason, thought he had 1 AP. Okay, so he's going to get backstabbed. Oh, he didn't. Wow, okay. There we go. That's what I was trying to fish out right there. I was trying to fish out that dodge. Really? They're all melees? Oh, this sucks. This is really, really bad. Okay, so Theogal, get swinging. I love the fact that Theogal has a two-handed sword, and he wields it like a one-handed sword. That's really cool. It's got like a Titan grip thing going on. I dig that. Over on this side, I'm going to have to come up with some kind of way to dig this character out, because unfortunately my range is very, very useless if I can't sort that out. So what I need right here is to one-shot him, and then move over to here and one-shot him, and so that should take us out. That's one of the things I don't like about fighting thieves, is because they start out invisible, you take damage no matter how you play the fight. And this game is very, very, very much about avoiding taking damage for as long as possible. So, oh, and there's a booby trap in that one, so we lost a little bit of health. Okay. Now that we've been punctured slightly, another group of thieves over here. Figure I'll use an apple on him. Maybe use an apple on Theogal. We're not in amazing shape right now, but we should be okay. I'm going to use a campfire so that we can get our exhaust back, because if you're watching, we've actually got a penalty right now, which is no good. I haven't committed any penalties, and so I don't want to be penalized like that. So there it is. I haven't done anything wrong. We fight these thieves. I think I'm going to focus on leveling up. I don't think this is going to be like a barn burner of a successful episode. I think that it's probably... Ooh. Okay, let's solve this first then. Unfortunately, he rolled low on both of his damage rolls. I suppose that leaves me available to have Melik take a swat at him. Yeah, Melik got him. And that leaves Melik ready to get around the backside of this guy, Giggity. On this side, had I triple strike, I would feel better about... That's the thing, is like with Eviscerate, sometimes you can like one-shot people you shouldn't have been able to one-shot with just based on the extra amount of damage that you can deal. I wish that Tower also made him able to shoot at point-blank range and made him like immune to, I don't know, like attacks of opportunity or something. Make him basically like a tower defense game, essentially. But then again, I was just talking about how I wished he was more mobile, so maybe I'm just wishing that different... I'm gonna put him on the tower right now, actually. Because I think next turn we're gonna have to deal with these guys. We're also gonna get a couple people who come out of stealth here, yeah, and we don't know where they're going to come out of stealth. That's another mechanic that I'm a little iffy on, the free damage, because there is no way to get them out of stealth. Just throwing it, if something goes invisible in this game, like, it beats you, and there's nothing you can do about it. He's gonna bait a couple attacks of opportunity. It's not gonna be enough, but the big guy's gonna come through and dodge, so that's good. That's pretty good. I guess I'll put him back here. And this comes down to whether he can move that far and also make the attack roll. He did, so we dug out Halferis for a minute. We saved him. Over here, I'm going to allow Melik to have the final strike on this guy. And I want to make sure that it hits home, so we're going to get around behind him and we'll backstab him. And there's still one more invisible guy running around, unfortunately. And I think that means he's probably going to take the damage. I almost think it would be better off for me if I dismantled and just like ran away. And then made sure that his back was to a wall. Okay, so there he is right there. Actually, yeah. I'll let Theogal have this one. All of these characters need to like get their own distribution of kills in order to make this work properly. As of right now, this run isn't going well because none of these guys are leveled very much, and they are useful. All the characters have their own interesting uses. I mean, I very much prefer the crossbow guy to Okay, after a fierce battle, you drive away the rodents, and now we get 50 XP. We get to search. We get a poison mushroom or a poison fungus or whatever the hell that is, and a book that we can sell. So that's good. On this side of the map, we find ourselves in a hovel. I'm going to level up Melik to have an extra strength because I think he could be a competent damage dealer once we get a little bit further, especially. In the shadow of the room, a knight is leaning on his sword, his bloody armor. You see the emblem of Jandrik's knights. You will not learn anything further about him because he remains completely silent. I suppose we can insist, although you cannot tell from the look on his face. The knight is apparently annoyed by your behavior and draws his sword. We'll fight him. Oh, wow. They said a knight. They didn't say like 50 knights. God. Okay. So let's start out handling what we can handle here. And he dodged that one from behind. Although that doesn't count as behind. That's the other thing, is that the facing of the sprites doesn't match the actual facing of the tile. It's just like another one of those little, like... It's another one of those little things that just, like, throws me off a little bit. I've never seen a game where they didn't match, like, the direction they were facing on the tile, you know what I mean? There we go, so that's a bit more damage done. I'll probably face, like, right there. That leaves him in a kinda spotty situation. But not too bad, I don't think. He's gonna get an attack of opportunity. I should have came over here and just gone after him. I made a mistake. Not only a mistake, but a big one. Okay, well, we'll just work with it then. We'll do what we can where we can. Bad luck. Real bad luck. Okay, so he's gonna die on the next turn. I can almost guarantee you. So this may be the end of our run. The unfortunate problem with that gambit as well. Oh, good! He one-shot him. We're not gonna die. Awesome. That actually came around. That played out much differently than I expected it to. So what I'm gonna have him do is I'm gonna have him drop a banner over on this side. Oh, he can only drop it within 1 square of himself? Okay. So I guess I'll have him put it right there. And that doesn't really help me that much, but we gotta get this guy's armor off. Help. Oh my god, these dodges are just murdering me right now. The dodge rate is just killing me. Just killing me. The frequency with which I get dodged at 90% is just like... I have the worst luck ever. I'm pretty sure I must have peed on RNGesus' cat at some point because, frankly, even when I play XCOM and stuff, I miss so many 90% shots where it's just like, And like, I get the feeling it's just me because other people, I watch them play and it doesn't seem to happen to them. And then weird things happen, like I make 10% shots all the time. All the time. I'm gonna keep exploring this area because we're basically dead already. How Forrest loses 2 HP. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, well, I'm left with a very real quandary that I'm stuck in. Our decisions as they stand right now... I can risk going to the next map and seeing if I can make it to the next innkeeper, in which case we might be able to buy some healing items. Or I can go back to this innkeeper and rest. I think I'm going to play risky. Why not? Let's play risky. But yeah, if there's Jeddah. Here's a fine bunch. Maybe I could use your services, noble adventurers. A soldier from far from here has sworn to destroy me and wants to charge me with a crime I didn't commit. I'm only a defenseless woman, and if that soldier reaches the county jail, I will be falsely accused. Sure. Okay, so we lucked out right here. With this map, occasionally it'll spawn you right in front of a bunch of soldiers. And if that happened, we would have lost, but we seem to be okay right now. I think I should probably not spend my money on random characters at the moment. No healing items. Ooh. So that's just bad luck right there. Unfortunately, there's no potions, there's no apples, there's no anything. I think in this situation, it would be more prudent to liquidate anything that's not immediately useful. And then I guess we'll just rest like a couple times, since that's the only way to keep ourselves afloat, and obviously we've now got the opportunity to unlock a new character. So I would prefer to do that if I can. I also think this is a good spot to break off the episode. So my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Crowntakers. I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode. Take care, everybody, and hi-do.